All right, welcome everyone. Today we're doing something a little different. Think of it as a financial autopsy. We're going to sift through the evidence behind a stock collapse that is, well, truly catastrophic. No opinions here, just the hard data as we piece together the anatomy of this crash. So get this. Not too long ago, the stock we're looking at, TWNP, was trading at $19.04. That was its 52-week high. That's a price that screamed confidence, real value. And this is where it was when this analysis was done, just under 16 cents. I mean, that is a staggering, almost unbelievable drop from its peak. So the big question, right? How on earth does a stock lose over 99% of its value? What were the clues? What did the data leave behind for us? Okay, let's dive in and follow that technical trail. Let's see what story this stock is really telling. Okay, so our investigation has to start with the price itself. The chart, really, is our scene of the crime. And boy, does it tell a story. It's a tale of a severe, long, drawn-out downtrend. A fall from grace that was both incredibly swift and just brutal. And this chart, wow. This really puts it into perspective, doesn't it? It shows just how much wealth has completely vanished. See that tiny, tiny sliver at the bottom? That's all that's left. It's trading at the absolute rock bottom of its yearly range. It's just a powerful visual of the sheer damage that's been done here. All right, next up, we follow the money. And to do that, we look at our next clue, volume. Think of volume as the financial fingerprints left at the scene. It shows us the intensity, the real conviction behind all these price moves. So on the most recent trading day for this stock, over 250 million shares changed hands. Now that is not normal trading. That's an astronomical number that just screams one thing: pure panic. This is the kind of volume you see in what's called a capitulation event, where basically everyone is just rushing for the exits, trying to sell at any price. A really key tool for a forensic analysis like this is something called on-balance volume, or OBV for short. It's actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly powerful. It just keeps a running tally of volume, and that helps us see the direction of the money flow just beneath the surface. Basically, is money flowing in, or is it gushing out? And yep, the OBV confirms it. The panic wasn't just a one-day thing, not even close. This deeply negative number shows a sustained, relentless exit by investors. For a long, long time, on the days the price fell, the selling volume just massively, massively overwhelmed any buying that might have happened on the few up days. Okay, next, let's look at what I like to call the ghost of where the price used to be. We're talking about its moving averages. These lines on a chart, they represent the average price investors were willing to pay over different periods. And believe me, they tell a devastating story. This table right here just lays out the grim reality. The current price, it's not just low, it's a world away from where investors valued it just a few months ago. I mean, look at that. The 50-day average is over $1. The 150-day is over $3. It's a total disconnect from any sense of recent normalcy. So when you see a price this far below all of its key averages, and those averages themselves are stacked on top of each other in descending order, well, that is the textbook definition of a powerful negative trend. There's zero ambiguity here. The chart is just screaming bearish. All right, now let's dig a little deeper into the technical data. We're looking for the signals from the machine, What were the mathematical indicators telling us while this whole collapse was happening? Did they offer any warnings, any signs of hope? Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. We had multiple momentum indicators that were in extreme oversold territory. Now, think of this like an elastic band that's been stretched way, way too far. Indicators like the RSI and Williams R, which basically measure the speed and change of price, were all suggesting that the selling was getting exhausted, that, maybe a bounce could be coming soon. But, and this is a big but, here's the conflict. While some indicators were hinting at a possible bounce, others, like the Arun indicator, which is specifically designed to tell you how strong a trend is, were confirming that the downtrend was still in absolute control. The Arun down indicator was pegged at a perfect 100. The trend was so powerful, it was just overpowering any of those oversold signals. The trend, in this case, was king. Period. So after looking at all this evidence, the price, the volume, the history, all the indicators, where could the stock possibly go from here?
Well, the data suggests three very distinct and probably very volatile possibilities.
So first, you could see a sharp capitulation bounce. This happens when the very last sellers finally give up and throw in the towel. Second, the selling pressure could just keep going, breaking through those recent lows and collapsing even further. Or third, it could just go sideways, churning around in a volatile range while the market tries to figure out what, if anything, this company is actually worth now.
So, what's the final verdict from our investigation? What does the sum of all this technical evidence really tell us about the situation for this stock right here, right now?
Well, this source analysis really sums up the extreme risk with this powerful analogy. Trying to guess the exact bottom of a crash like this, it's like trying to catch a falling knife. Yeah, you might get lucky, but the odds of getting seriously hurt are just exceptionally high. For now, the whole story really just boils down to a battle between two critical levels. On one side, you have the floor, that recent low of 14 cents. That's your key support. And on the other side, the first major ceiling it has to break through is the 5-day average, which is way up near 31 cents. That's the battleground. And that leaves us with one final, provocative thought. Our technical autopsy has shown just overwhelming evidence of a catastrophic failure. So when every single piece of data tells the exact same bearish story, what's left besides hope? What does it actually take to turn something like this around? It's a question that every investor faces when they look at a chart like this one. Thanks for joining me for this breakdown.